Well, in the United States, an anti-caste discrimination bill has now become law in California. The bill was passed in the Assembly Judicial Committee. The Hindu community has now staged a protest calling it discriminatory and anti-Hindu. So there's a huge row over this anti-caste discrimination law that has been adopted in California. Abhishek Kapoor, our senior executive editor, joins us. Abhishek, give us more details of what the Hindu community's essential objection to this law is.
See, it's called Senate Bill 403, SB 403, and it's been authored by Democratic Senator from Fremont, Aisha Wahab, and that is actually a contributing factor because she has some linkages with what is called the anti-India lobby, and people believe that this is motivated. Essentially, what it does is that it adds caste to an already existing law on anti-discrimination measures that are in place, and it's a situation where it's going to impact the possibility of Hindus and specifically Hindus and South Asians in terms of their job prospects, their education prospects. Because remember, recently there was a Supreme Court order of the United States which ruled against affirmative action and said that this sort of acts discriminatory to merit. And this is in this is in continuation with the kind of activism we have seen from some quarters targeting Indian customs and traditions. But it's not about customs and traditions because, for example, we also have laws which protect anyone targeting scheduled caste, for example. But this is more aimed at singling out the Indian community and putting them at certain disadvantage because you mark them out. And that is why there have been protests that have panned out against this law. Earlier, there was a similar law passed in San Jose County, I believe, and then subsequently now it's in line to become a state law after the Judicial Committee that has passed this law today in the Californian Assembly.
Right, of course, this is, being largely seen as a follow-up to what happened in Seattle, where such a law was also passed. But Abhishek, what I understand is that the actual problem that the Indian community sees over there is the fact that then, the Hindus become an identifiable group.
Exactly. So that is the most troublesome aspect of this law, Nupur. And this is specifically aimed at one community, and the protest and those who are carrying out protests, that just by marking them out, it puts them at a disadvantage because it says that it actually shows caste as something which is connected with ancestry. So I think there are certain provisions which are not liked. It has been still passed by the Judiciary Committee of the Assembly, following which now I believe it will come for a full vote. The Senate of the California state has already passed the law, and while the proposers of the law, including Aisha Wahab, for example, who is of Afghan origin and who has no or limited understanding of how the system works, they believe that this is going to end caste discrimination. It's a dialogue internal to the United States happening within the Indian community, but then the protesters, essentially, the main argument is, Nupur, that this is discriminatory because it marks them out, and that's something which should not be allowed.
Thank you very much for joining us right now. So as Abhishek is pointing out, this is a dialogue that is taking place internally within the Indian origin Americans over there.